Pastels are a fantastic medium and are also quite versatile. You can use them to create very realistic results or whimsical atmospheric moods. They're great for blocking in large sections of colour, as you can use them on their side to fill in the page quite quickly. The end of the pastel can then be used to create more detail. We're going to use pastels to draw some fabric. The way a fabric folds is what defines it and gives it its character, as well as the highlights and lowlights. Using the side of the pastel, I block in the basic colour, leaving the highlight areas blank. In these areas, I then put a light or white colour in quickly. I then go over the colours using a variety of similar tones and a mix of the side and the end of the pastel until I have a smooth effect. I can also smudge it with my finger to get a good smooth base to work over. A lot of drawing is trial and error, and what works one time may not work the next. Sometimes you'll need to smudge more, sometimes you'll need to use the end of your pastel more. It's a feel thing. I always stand back from my work and ask myself what's missing and use that to work out what I need to add next. I do the same thing with colours. If I have a colour that doesn't look quite right, I ask myself what shade is there too little of. For example, in this section of the shadows of the material, it looks as if it needs more green. Experiment with different colours as well. Shadows can look really effective if there are hints of other colours in the mix. If you put white over the green, it will change the tone of the green and make it a bluer green than before. It can create a very smooth and finished look. Over the top of this base, you can use pastel pencils to help put the finer details of the collar and buttons. Also, the sharper edges at the end of the pastel work well too. As I work, I use fixed stiff to help stop the pastel from smudging and flaking off. And also, when the page starts to resist any more pastel being added and looks as if it will go a little muddy. It can sometimes dull a colour, so I try to use it sparingly. Once you've sprayed it and it's dried, you can then work over the top again. You can use a kneadable eraser to pull back any bits as you need to. Be careful to dab more than rub your work though. If you rub the pastels with the eraser, you can sometimes leave smudges that are hard to get rid of. Keep going until it's finished, using your eyes as a guide. To see more about how to draw lots of other things, you can check out my book and DVD called Simply Drawing. This covers a lot of the elementary things you need to know to draw with a grey lead pencil, a good foundation leading up to pastels.